Want another headset? You want to join me?
I know slightly more than nothing about soccer.
Just like 3 minutes to game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
All right, how much play do I have? Ooh.
You have all of this.
Okay,
You are good.
I'm good. I should have brought a chair.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of thinking that too. But
Okay. I do. Do you hear me well? Yeah, I wish I had one. They're gonna start right on time here. Okay. Windsor is 2-8, and E.O. Smith is 7-2. They played the first game of the year. E.O. won 6-5.
6-5.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Windsor High School on a simply lovely Friday evening as we get set for the high school softball game of the week here on the Wax. It is E.O. Smith stepping in on the road against the Warriors of Windsor. That is Sydney Hicks about to deliver the first pitch of this game. And it is foul back by Bryn Cartier. Cartier will lead things off for E.O. Smith. And the Panthers under Scott McCall, 7-2 on the season. Windsor and E.O. Smith played the opening game of the year up in Stores, and E.O. Smith came away with a 6-5 victory as Hicks rocks and fires. And quickly, Bryn Cartier is in the hole 0-2. It'll be Cartier, Champagne, Rachel Morales hits third, Olivia Lips, the pitcher, hitting fourth. Bella Caldy will hit fifth in this E.O. Smith lineup. So glad you're with us. As I mentioned, just a gorgeous evening here in Windsor. We had a rainstorm come through about an hour and a half ago, and since then it has cooled down a little bit. The humidity has left us, as has the rain, and it is a great night for some high school softball, and they like to play under the lights, which aren't even on yet here at Windsor High School. A 1-2 count now, and Hicks is low with her next delivery. So it's 2-2. Brent Cartier is the shortstop for E.O. Smith. And the leadoff hitter. And a ball hit deep center field. And there to make the catch is Ashley Garrison. So 1 out here in the top of the first. I'm Mark Robbins in Pettigrew, the man with all the pictures making this look so great tonight. We are the crew out here, and of course the crew back at WFSB Studios in Rocky Hill as we see the second baseman, Louise Champagne, step in from the left side for the Panthers of E.O. Smith. And the first pitch just a little bit outside. It's 1-0. On deck is the all-state star of this E.O. Smith squad, Rachel Morales. We'll talk a lot about her in the minutes to come. And here's the 1-0, and Champagne now ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. And actually, they're going to change it up and say it's 1-1. Tough to see the call. We are in dead center field, as you can tell. And that is a late call for a strike. We're going to have to be patient with the strike call from the home plate umpire. So 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to Champagne as Hicks rocks, and here it comes. Sprayed foul out into the parking lot. And a big crowd, really nice crowd on hand. A lot of people out here in the outfield with lawn chairs all over the place, settling in for this matchup. Another 1-2 coming from Hicks. This ball driven out to left field for a base hit. Champagne with the first base hit of the ball game, first runner as well. So that'll bring up Rachel Morales, the center fielder. Now, she's a 2-time All-State center fielder. Played in the prestigious Connecticut All-Star game for sophomore, in her sophomore and her junior season. And robust is not even the word for her batting average. It's .846 after 9 games. That's right, .846. So the question is not if, but where will she get a hit? And she takes a pitch outside right on the corner before a strike. So it's 0-1. 9 games, batting .846. Rachel Morales heading to Iona College next year to play softball for the Gales. Here's a drive to deep center field into the gap. On the run, and a tremendous catch by Garrison. How about the range from Ashley Garrison? 2 big plays for the center fielder. Champagne hustles back to first. That had a double at least written all over it, but great speed from Garrison, and there are 2 out. And a rarity as Morales makes it out on the fly to deep center. Here's the cleanup hitter for E.O. Smith, taking a pitch inside, Olivia Lips. Olivia will be in the circle once the Panthers take the field defensively. Outstanding hurler, headed to upstate New York. She'll play at Buffalo State starting in the fall. D3 power. One and 0 to the cleanup hitter Lips. And it's 1-1. She was on it, but fouled it straight back. So, defensively, the highlight in the first half inning, Garrison with 2 big catches. That second one, tremendous running catch as the ball is down low. 2 balls and a strike with 2 down here in the top of the first. Just underway, our Wax Game of the Week. So glad you're with us. And that makes it a 3-1 count. Wind blowing in a little bit from center field. Lips pops one up in the infield. Foul ground. Catch made by Taylor Thoreau, and that'll wrap up the top of the first. No runs for E.O. Smith. Here comes Windsor to bat on the Wax. We'll be right back. And back here at Windsor High School for the bottom of the first inning, the Windsor Warriors under Bill Alexander in his 19th season guiding the Warriors, and he will send up his pitcher, Sidney Hicks, to lead off, followed by Savannah Tustin, the second baseman, and Hannah Oberle, the catcher, will bat third. Aaliyah Graves is the shortstop, and she hits in the cleanup spot against Olivia Lips. Heading again, as I mentioned, to Buffalo State in the fall as a pitcher. And Lips is in the circle, facing Hicks to lead things off. Bottom of the first, no score between E.O. Smith and Windsor. That one gets and bounces off the backstop. So 1-0. Just a wonderful evening. Wind is picking up a little bit, and it's going straight in right now. The temporary fence bowing toward the outfield and the infield toward the diamond here at Windsor High School. Lights not on yet, no need for this 6:30 start. The 1-1, and it's now 1-2 against Hicks. I mentioned these two schools met to open up the season. A cold, much colder day than this. And E.O. Smith at home in Stores won that one, a tight one, 6-5. And Hicks swings and misses. She goes down one away here in the bottom of the first. Brings up the second baseman, Savannah Tustin. Again, hitting from the right side. First pitch low. This E.O. Smith defense, very solid up the middle. Oberle catching. Then you have the most sophisticated, elegant shortstop second base combination in all of high school sports. In fact, anywhere in all of softball. How could you get more elegant than Cartier and Champagne playing second base and shortstop? This ball driven into the gap in right center, and it falls in for a base hit. Tustin on her way to second with a one-out double. Well, found a gap in right center. Morales couldn't get there. Neither could the right fielder, Jenna Lewis, as it falls in. And a one-out double for Tustin. That brings up Hannah Oberle, the catcher. Right-handed hitter with some power. Fouls one back. So both teams getting runners on base here in the first. Nothing across for E.O. Smith in the Panthers' top of the first. And here is Windsor trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. Bill Alexander, the head coach, is the third base coach for the Warriors. That is a bit high. So 1-1. Bit of a delay from Lips, but her pitch is a little bit high for ball two. 2-1. And it is a 3-1 count. Getting that runner, Tustin, over at second base. Aaliyah Graves, the shortstop, on deck. She's the cleanup hitter. And it's ball four. So 2 on and 1 out. And here comes Aaliyah Graves. Aaliyah Graves playing shortstop. Lips is a little bit high with that one. So after a walk, she falls behind the next hitter. Aaliyah Graves, 1-0. The 5-hitter Taylor Thoreau, the first baseman, on deck. Did she go around? And the check with the field umpire, and yes, she did go around for a strike. Evens the count, 1-1. And a big swing at that one. And Graves in the hole. Lips getting the count in her favor now at 1-2 strikes. Sky down the line, foul down the third baseline and into the parking lot. You could tell it's a veteran crowd. Nobody parking close to the grass. Those parking spots are left wide open. Here's another 1-2. And a high fastball, a rise ball actually, that gets Graves. And there are 2 down. Both out, swinging strikes. Here's Taylor Thoreau, the first baseman, another right-handed hitter that Lips will go after now. And getting ahead with another rise. It is 0-1. And a pitch right down the middle. It's 0-2. And that'll do it. A pitch at the knees for strike 3 called. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Lips. 2 runners left on after 1. We've got no score here on the Game of the Week. We'll be right back. Bella Caldy scalds a ball into the gap in right center field to lead off the second. She'll go for second, and they got her. Throwing out Caldy, and another great defensive play from Ashley Garrison, getting to that ball and firing it in to Aaliyah Graves. And on the slide, looks like Caldy comes up hurt a little bit. Coach Scott McCall comes running out to check on her. That'll be a single, and then 8-6 if you're scoring at home, and who isn't. On the throw, there's one out. And as they attend to Caldy, let's see. Might be, maybe it's an eye issue, maybe contacts or something, dirt in the eyes. You know, the hitters wear the face mask to protect against a pitch ball hitting them, but it's open air. They don't wear visors. So, certainly dust particles and things can get in there. Maybe even a lace of a glove. You never know. Looks like they're trying to clean out the eyes of Bella Caldy. So we've got one out here, top of the second, in a scoreless game. And the defense has been outstanding. The center fielder, Ashley Garrison, she made 2 catches, one a tremendous running catch in left center in the top of the first. And here showing you great speed to get to that ball in the gap in right center. As Caldy looks to be much better than immediately after her slide as she comes off with the coaching staff, and looks like she'll go over and you know, take care of things. Hopefully doesn't have to come out of the game. One out. Here's Lila Kenny, the catcher. Right-handed hitter for the Panthers. Takes a pitch inside from Sydney Hicks. It's 1-0. Hicks fires. Deflected by Hicks. And Kenny does a nice job beating it out. Hicks deflected it. By the time it got over to the second baseman, Champagne, Kenny just too fast. So an infield single. 2 hits in the inning, just 1 runner, of course, though, on right now. There'll be a pinch runner for Kenny. Here's Izzy Jean, the designated player, which in softball is basically the DH, but can come out, move around, a little bit more liberal with the rules in softball. But Izzy Jean, the DP, batting 7th for E.O. Smith, hitting for Marley Knowlton, the first baseman at the moment. So Izzy Jean in the box, 1 on, 1 out in this scoreless game, top of the second. Our game of the week here on the Wax, we've got a couple more. We have next week, and again, you can start voting tonight on the Frenzy, WFSB 11:15. We'll have our nominees for next week's game of the week, plus all the highlights and some post-game from around the state of Connecticut tonight on our Friday Night Frenzy. Dan Booth will join me as we will co-anchor that show tonight from the studios at WFSB. A 2-1 pitch coming from Sydney Hicks, and it is now 2-2. Mentioned these teams opened up the season against one another. 6-5, the victory going to E.O. Smith. And a change. Outstanding pitch from Hicks. And gets Jean swinging. So that makes 2 down. Here's Jenna Lewis, the right fielder. So 2 down, 1 on, the runner at first. And Hicks will rock and fire. And it's 1-0. Both these schools in Class L. E.O. Smith with its 7-2 record, ranked 10th right now. Of course, you need 8 wins to get into the state tournament out of the 20 games. So still time for Windsor at 2-8, and the Warriors have won 2 of their last 3. And, of course, E.O. Smith at 7-2, trying to get win number 8. And still with the second half of the season to play after tonight. Smash off the third base bag. A fair ball and a base hit for Jenna Lewis. That ball squarely off the third base bag, so puts runners at first and second. Here's Abby Jeffers, the left fielder, the ninth hitter in this E.O. Smith lineup. So Bryn Cartier is in the on-deck circle for the Panthers. 2 on, 2 out for E.O. Smith. Try to break through. And that one is grounded foul. So both schools with threats in each inning so far, but nothing yet on the board. The 0-1, another change, but this time Jeffers stays off it as it is down low. The appeal, no swing. 1-1 the count. Laced into the gap in right center. It's going to get to the fence. 1 run is in. They'll send another. The throw not in time, and a 2-run base hit for Abby Jeffers. Some clutch hitting in the 9-hole for Abby Jeffers. 2 RBI. And that gets it to the top of the lineup. And here's Bryn Cartier. She flied out to center to lead off this game. She takes a pitch on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. So the bottom of the order coming through in this top of the second. For E.O. Smith, the Panthers jump out to a 2-0 lead. This one is laced down the line but foul. And we'll head into the parking lot. 0-2 now to Cartier with Champagne on deck. They sound like they should be playing at Beverly Hills High School. Cartier and Champagne. The Beverly Hills High campus on Rodeo. No, it's not on Rodeo Drive. Sounds like it should be, though. So here's a 1-2 coming from Sydney Hicks. It is now 2-2. And a foul tip. Orberly not able to hang on to it. So Cartier, yes, Cartier is still up with the count of 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Cartier goes down to end the inning, but 2 runs come across for E.O. Smith. Panthers lead it 2-0. Back in a minute on the Wax. Welcome back to Windsor High School. First pitch from Olivia Lips is low to Kaylee Bean, the designated player and sixth place hitter in this Windsor lineup. 2-0 after the Panthers of E.O. Smith scoring a couple of runs in the top of this inning, and a pitch inside 2-0. It'll be Kaylee Bean, then Alma Ruiz, the third baseman, McKenna Nolan, the right fielder, third up this inning. And a pitch, good strong fastball at the knees for a swinging strike. And 1-2. And that evens things up at 2-2. Lips with a change that is just fouled at the plate. Now it's 2-2. Scoreboard was incorrect, but that was a second strike. So now at 2-2. Well, I guess it was 3-2 at that point. So the walk to Bean brings up Alma Ruiz, the third baseman. So a leadoff walk, and every coach will tell you, you get a couple runs and then you come out and your pitcher walks the leadoff hitter, get you going stir crazy. And Ruiz swinging through a good pitch, and it's 0-1. So leadoff walk. Windsor trying to rally here, down 2 runs, bottom of the second. And quickly ahead, 0-2. Lips rocks and fires. Ruiz stays away from the rise. It's now 1-2. A good pitch that Ruiz swings through. The fourth strikeout of the game for Lips. One out here in the second. Here's McKenna Nolan, the right fielder. Nolan hitting from the left side. One down, still Kaylee Bean at first with the leadoff walk. Line drive caught at second. The play made by Louise Champagne. Runner gets back, so a line out to second. Second out of the inning. Here's Ashley Garrison, the defensive star so far early in this game, with 3 wonderful plays in center field for Windsor. He takes a pitch low. So 2 out and a runner at first as Windsor tries to answer the 2 runs from the E.O. Smith Panthers in the top of the second. Smoke down the line, just foul. Oof. Boy, quick hands. She got around on that one. You see that bat from center field, and she just whipped it around right in her wheelhouse. But just foul. Let's see if Lips and E.O. Smith learned from that. I don't think you want to throw it inside to Ashley Garrison. She's got some quick hands. They go high. Garrison lays off. Counts even now at 2-2. Actually, it's 2-1. Excuse me. That one gets away. Bounces to the backstop. Gets the runner Bean over to second base. So in scoring position with 2 down. And Garrison looking to find a hole and drive in the first run of the game for Windsor. She may have found one. No. It's Champagne there for the catch, and that'll do it. Runner gets to second, but no further. Windsor trails E.O. Smith 2-0. It's the game of the week on the Wax. Top of the third here at Windsor High School. E.O. Smith will have Champagne, Morales, and Lips, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Panthers lineup. Here against Sydney Hicks in the top of the third with a 2-0 lead. First pitch, a change, goes high, 1-0. Champagne singled back in the first. Did not score. Champagne again, and then Rachel Morales on deck. And that pitch on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. And again, just a gorgeous evening in Windsor for our high school game of the week. Glad you're with us. And the grounder to second. Get back to the bag, and a nice job of execution on that play. Tustin fielding it, waiting for Thoreau to get back. In a quick 4-3 ground out to start this third inning for E.O. Smith. That'll bring up Rachel Morales, who started the game at 846 with her batting average. I'm not doing any sort of math to tell you what happened. She flied out to center field, and that's when Garrison ran it down in the gap in left center to take away a sure double at least. The first pitch, high for ball. Morales, mentioned, heading to Iona College next year. You know, last week we did the baseball game. Oh, a change and a beauty Hicks just dropping one right over the middle of the plate, evening the count at 1-1. You know, last week with the starting pitcher for Hamden, Aiden Jovia, and he's going to Iona next year. Wonder if he knows Rachel Morales. She's going to play softball for the Gales. So a couple of Connecticut kids will be in New Rochelle next year and playing in the MAC, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, for the Iona Gales. Got a chance to come back and play 3 schools in Connecticut, and a base hit up the middle by Morales. And as we were told, she just gets hits, and she is now 1 for 2. Imagine being 1 for 2 and having your average drop in a game. But the base hit for Morales, a 1-out single, gets her on. And here is the cleanup hitter, Olivia Lips. She popped up, fouled out to the first baseman, Thoreau, back in the first to end the inning. She's up here with Morales, a threat to steal at first base. And this one popped up again, and this time Thoreau battling the fence, can't make the grab. That was the exact same play on 2 consecutive pitches, albeit 25 minutes apart, but Lips nearly fouled out twice to first base. So she's in the hole 0-1, trying to find a way to get Morales closer to scoring position at least. And this one fouled inside the third base line. So 0-2 is Olivia Lips against her counterpart in the circle, Sydney Hicks. Hicks with just 1 strikeout so far. Grounded to short, the throw over, not in time. Morales with that speed I talked about a little bit, beats it out. So the fielder's choice. And we've got runners at first and second on the ground ball, the fielder's choice. They don't get the out at second. Here's Bella Hadley batting 5th, the third baseman. Nice to see her come back in. Had a little eye issue on being thrown out, trying to stretch a single into a double back in the second inning. Here's the pitch. And it is over on the outside corner for a strike. Boy, you really got to wait for that umpire to throw up the strike call. Sydney Hicks ahead in the count, rocks and fires. Morales thought about running, but hustles back to the bag at second. So 1 out, runners at first and second. It's a 2-0 lead for E.O. Smith, and the visitors want more. That one, a fastball right down the middle for a strike. That makes it 1-2. So Sydney Hicks looking for a strikeout here with only 1 out. And she's also looking for a different softball to use. Doesn't like that one. They'll change it, but not throw it out of the game, so we'll see if it comes back. But meanwhile, Hicks has a new ball and will go to work. Trying to get the strikeout, as I mentioned, 2 on, 1 out for E.O. Smith. Foul pop, out of play. So it stays 1-2. Sun's starting to set here at Windsor High School. They play 3 or 4 night games a year on campus. Love to get the fans out on a nice evening like this. And another foul, and this one out of play. The outfield is really where the fans are, from the left field foul line all the way to the right field foul line. There are a lot of people behind that portable fence that goes around. 1-2. Hit on the ground. Thoreau will field it. Get the out at first. Runners advance to second and third, and now there are two away. So the ground out to first, unassisted. That'll bring up Lila Kenny. And Kenny singled and scored the first run of the game for E.O. Smith back in the first. So two out now, but the runners are at second and third. So an opportunity for Kenny to drive in two more. Hicks fires. Nice job. Behind home plate, Hannah Oberle. Now she's got that Speedy Morales at third. Charging down the line. Not a lot of room behind home plate. The backstop comes up pretty quickly. And this one fouled away. 1-1 as the sun is starting to set. Still no sign of the lights being on here at Windsor. They'll put them on, certainly. So a 1-1 count to Lila Kenny, the catcher. And now it's 1-2. Top of the third here at Windsor. E.O. Smith with a 2-0 lead. And fouled again, this time not to the parking lot, but makes the fans down the first base line jump around, scatter a little bit as best they can, and sitting in lawn chairs, portable ones. 1-2 it remains against Kenny, and here's Hicks. This one playable in right. Wind takes it a little bit, and it gets away from the right fielder, Nolan. A 2-run score. Kenny winds up at third with a 2-run triple. So big 2-run triple for Lila Kenny. It's 4-0 E.O. Smith. She'll take a seat, Will Kenny, for the pinch runner. Izzy Jean coming up, the designated player. And there are two out, but now a runner at third with two in and a 4-0 lead for E.O. Smith. Here's Izzy Jean. She struck out swinging in her first at-bat an inning ago. Sydney Hicks. And the grounder to second. The play over to Thoreau to end the inning, but not before two more score. E.O. Smith leads at 4-0. It's the game of the week on the Wax. We go to the bottom of the third. Sydney Hicks, the leadoff hitter for Windsor. The pitcher as well, leading it off here. Windsor trailing it now. E.O. Smith on top, 4-0. 2 in the second and 2 in the third for the Panthers. The first pitch, a little bit inside. It's 1-0. So Hicks led off the game. She struck out against Olivia Lips, the pitcher for E.O. Smith tonight, heading to Buffalo State. And a grounder right back to Lips. Nice dig out at first by Knowlton. And a quickly one away. Here's second baseman Savannah Tustin. She doubled with one out in the first, but was stranded at second. Olivia Lips, an outstanding student, in fact, heading to part of the VOAG program, as is Morales, Rachel Morales, and they live in other towns. I think Morales lives in Coventry, but because of the VOAG program, E.O. Smith draws students from several towns up in the northeast corner of Connecticut. That's why Lips and Morales, they're both in that VOAG program, and that's why they are at the school. And Lips finished, I think, 7th in the nation in a forestry competition at the high school level, so an outstanding student. And she's heading to Buffalo State to continue her academics and her softball career in the fall. Pitch a little bit high to Savannah Tustin. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hannah Oberly on deck, the catcher for Windsor. So 2-1. And the lights start to flicker on the poles here at Windsor High School. They're turning them on here in the bottom of the third, and a walk for Tustin. Her second time up, her second time on base. Here's Hannah Oberly. She walked her first time up, the catcher for Windsor. And Bill Alexander might be putting on a little play here as he talks to his catcher down the third base line. Tustin at first, 1 out. Here's Oberly. Are they going to put a play on, down 4-0? The runner does not go. Pitch taken for a ball. On the outside corner, evening the count at 1-1. Here's Lips with the 1-1 coming. Right back at her. It gets the out at first. The runner moving forward. Tustin now at second base. Here's Aaliyah Graves. So 2 out, runner at second. That's Savannah Tustin. Here's Graves. Graves struck out her first time up. And that's a clean swing and a miss. No foul. And the runner, Tustin, is able to advance to third. So a great opportunity now for Graves and Windsor to get on the board here. Graves looking to drive in Tustin and get the Warriors on the board. And it 1-1 the count. 2 down. Rip down the line, just foul. Quick hands from Graves, and it just goes foul. She ripped that one. 1-2 now. Got to be on guard for a change coming from Lips. The fastball fouled back. That hit a vehicle of some sort. I think that's Bill Alexander's car. Now listen, he's been the head coach here 19 years. If he thinks it's safe to park there, then I guess that's the first time it's ever gotten back there. But I think it hit his van. One-two coming to Graves. Swing and a miss, and the throw down, and that'll do it. No runs in the third for Windsor. It's 4-0 E.O. Smith as we go to the fourth here on the Wax. Back here at Windsor High School, top of the fourth inning for the Panthers of E.O. Smith. Jenna Lewis leading things off, the right fielder. She'll be followed by Abby Jeffers with the RBI base hit in the second to get the Panthers on the board as this ball is popped up out of play off one of the trees here that lines the field here at Windsor High School as the lights are starting to take effect. Sun going down behind a big cloud. So big, I don't think it's coming back out. Sydney Hicks with a slow change that is golfed foul by Jenna Lewis. Lewis, Jeffers, and then top of the order, Bryn Cartier. 1-2 coming. Count stays the same on the foul. Great night in Windsor on a Friday evening. Glad you're with us on our high school game of the weeks here on the Wax. Driven into short center field, and in comes the center fielder, Garrison, to make the catch. And when she gets there, she handles things quite nicely. So the catch made, one away as Lewis flies to center. Here's Abby Jeffers. I mentioned she had the RBI single, the two-run single, to score Kenny and Lewis back in the second inning, putting E.O. Smith up 2-0. It is now 4-0. Jeffers hits one to center. Garrison on the run. I told you, if she gets to it, she's going to handle it. She is just outstanding in center field. Ashley Garrison, some kind of defensive center fielder. Bill Alexander has a ton of confidence when he sees that ball go into center field. She can run and catch and throw too. She threw out a runner at second base back in the second inning. And taking a strike, top of the order, it's Bryn Cartier. And then Champagne. The elegance of the lineup for the Panthers of E.O. Smith. So I invite our audience to watch this hitter. That's right, watch Cartier. Fouls one back. Don't you think it's time, Ian, that we watch Cartier? I'm a dad, so the dad jokes, they're going to flow. The change is just a little bit high. 2-2. Right on it, but fouls the fastball back. Still 2-2. We got a great wiffle ball game going on behind us here in right center field. We may get a shot of that come the next inning to bring us back in. 2 games for 1 on our game of the week. That pitch low and inside, runs the count full. 3-2. 2 down. Thanks to Miss Garrison in center field. Here's the full count pitch. And this one will again go foul. Heck of an at-bat here for Bryn Cartier. Another 3-2 from Sydney Hicks. And this one gobbled up at third. Nice play. The play made by Alma Ruiz at third. 5-3 on the putout. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 4-0. E.O. Smith on the Wax. Yeah, welcome back. We just wanted to show you a little glimpse of the wiffle ball game going on here at the softball field at Windsor High, and now we'll get back to the true game of the week. Windsor's Taylor Thoreau up 2 strikes to count on her, bottom of the 4th, trying to get something going for the Warriors, who trail E.O. Smith 4-0. Olivia Lips in the circle has been terrific tonight for the Panthers. That one high and tight. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thoreau struck out looking in her first plate appearance. Played a solid first base tonight for the Warriors. And takes a pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Lips with a 2-2 coming. At the knees, inside corner, strike 3 called. Outstanding pitch from Olivia Lips. 5th strikeout for Lips. Here's Kaylee Bean, the designated player. She walked, got all the way to second, but was stranded there back in the 2nd inning. And she swings at the first pitch and is in the hole 0-1. So Lips, who by my count has given up just 1 hit. She's walked 2 and struck out 5. And is quickly ahead 0-2 on Kaylee Bean. The 0-2 coming. Little off speed, low and away, 1-2. One, 2 is up high to make it 2-2. Alma Ruiz on deck. McKenna Nolan, the right fielder, would hit if anybody gets on. Little bit low, and nice job by Bean to battle back 0-2 and battles back to 3-2. Full count now. Bean trying to get on, get a rally going for the Warriors, who trail at 4-0. Swing and a miss, and a second strikeout of the inning. Bean goes down. Here's Alma Ruiz. She struck out her first at bat. 6 strikeouts now for Olivia Lips. Two down, 4-0. The score here, bottom of the 4th. Lights starting to take effect here at Windsor. That pitch fouled away. Mentioned Ruiz struck out. McKenna Nolan on deck. Ashley Garrison will follow her. A change. And Ruiz flails and misses. 0-2 now. Lips trying to strike out the side. And wastes one inside and low. And right back to Lips. to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the fifth. 4-0. E.O. Smith here on the wax. All right, Luis Champagne will lead it off, top of the fifth for E.O. Smith. Panthers with a 4-0 lead here at Windsor on this really tremendous, pleasant Friday evening. As the lights really start to take effect here. Again, they play about 4 games a year under the lights at Windsor High School. It's a big treat for the kids, and fans like it. Parents certainly don't have to get out of work early to get here, and they can just, and on a night like this, really enjoy the atmosphere. And a very, very strong crowd has come out to watch this game. It's 1-1 to Luis Champagne, who is 0 for 1 with a first inning walk. And she splinters one foul. 1-2 the count. Champagne, then Morales, and then Olivia Lips. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for E.O. Smith. And who is E.O. or who was E.O. Smith? Well, UConn alums or current students might be familiar, or those in the Stores area, in the area of Northeast Connecticut, may be familiar, certainly, with a former president at the University of Connecticut. And E.O. Smith, as that ball is fouled away, the count is 2-2. E.O. Smith was started by UConn as a teaching school to bring teachers into the university, and then, believe in the mid-'80s, they sold it to the city for it to become what it is now, E.O. Smith High School. If you've ever been up to Stores, it is immediately adjacent, right next to the UConn campus, right across the street from that development that sprung up 3-4 years ago. And ball 4 to Champagne, her second walk, actually her first walk of this one. She singled back in the first. She's 1 for 2 with the walk. And here's Rachel Morales. Morales, 1 for 2 with a run scored. She singled and scored back in the third. Flied out to center. And when you hit a fly ball to center against Windsor, you just know that Ashley Garrison's going to make the catch, and she did on a great running catch in left center field to rob Morales of extra bases. The pitch is low. Now, Rachel Morales, we talked about, she's going to Iona, two-time All-State center fielder. Outstanding range, speed, got a great arm, can hits for power. Was an All-Stater as a sophomore. Played in the All-Star game for sophomores and juniors. Figures to play in the senior All-Star game because she's hitting, well, she was hitting 846 coming in, but she's a mere 1 for 2. So even if she gets a base hit here, she's still going to drop. She'll only be hitting 666 for the day, so that means her average is going to fall a little bit. She takes a pitch. It's 1-2. Got a great eye. Disciplined at the plate. Just outstanding plate coverage. Can drive the ball to all three fields. And here's the 1-2 from Hicks. Low, and the runner, Champagne, thought about it for a minute, but then creeps back to first. Top of the fifth with a 4-0 lead for the visiting Panthers of E.O. Smith. And there's a great job of hitting. Going the opposite way with the outside pitch through the hole between short and third. Rachel Morales with a single, a solid base hit. Runners at first and second. Morales 2 for 3 in this game. And that brings up Olivia Lips, the pitcher, trying to help herself. She's got 2 runners on, nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Trying to add to a 4-0 E.O. Smith lead. Oh, this ball's hit well, left center field, and up against the fence. They're calling it a dead ball ground rule double. It got underneath the netting. That'll only bring in 1 run. So it's a RBI double. Champagne scores. Morales to third. Lips with an RBI double at second. Nobody out still. Here's Bella Caldy, the third baseman. That ball was a foot in length from leaving the field of play. It fell right at the base of the portable fence and got caught under the netting, and that's when the umpires called the ground rule double. So 2 on, nobody out, a run in. It's 5-0 E.O. Smith. So Olivia Lips, she scored a run and now has knocked in a run with the RBI double. She is 1 for 3 and pitching a 1-hitter through 4. Pitches outside to Caldy. Top of the fifth, 5-0 E.O. Smith. This ball driven to deep right. It's going to get up against the fence. 2 runs will score. Caldy heading to third. And Caldy drives in 2 with a triple. It's 7-0 E.O. Smith. Caldy going the opposite way and drove that over the head of McKenna Nolan in right. And the bats are really starting to come alive for E.O. Smith. 7-0 runner at third. Nobody out. 3 in. in the top of the fifth. Lila Kenny is 2 for 2 with an RBI, a base hit, and a triple. It's a little conference amongst the players, player-only meeting in the middle of the diamond, trying to show support for Sydney Hicks, the starter who's still going for Windsor. Here's Kenny, the catcher, and he'll get rid of that one. So here's the first pitch of this at-bat to Lila Kenny. Smokes one into right for a base hit. Down the line into the corner. Caldy scores. Kenny's looking for his second straight triple, and she's got it easily. It's 8-0 E.O. Smith. Back-to-back triples by Caldy and Kenny. 4 runs in the inning. Scott McCall is calling time, and I think he is going to have a pinch runner come in for Lila Kenny, his catcher. It brings up Izzy Jean, the designated player. She's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Jean now with a runner at third. Still nobody out here in the top of the fifth. And Hicks is high with her first one. So those back-to-back triples doing a lot of damage for E.O. Smith. Panthers continue on their prowl here in the fifth, up 8-0 with nobody out. Hard base hit in the left. It's 9-0 as Kenny scores. So a 9-0 game right now. I believe in high school softball, the mercy rule goes into effect after 5 if the lead is 10 runs or more. So 9-0. The runner at first. And we're going to have a pitching change as Bill Alexander comes out talking to Sydney Hicks, and she will hand it over to Jenna Lewis. Actually, I'm sorry, she will hand it over to Taylor Thoreau, the first baseman coming in. And some instructions for Thoreau. So we'll throw up the slate for a moment. We'll take a quick break. It's 9-0 here in the fifth. Back in a moment on our Game of the Week here on the Wax. All right, back here, top of the fifth inning, 9-0. E.O. Smith has a pitching change for Windsor. They bring in Taylor Thoreau from first base, and she will do the pitching. Coaches are adjusting their lineups. Runner at first base for E.O. Smith is Izzy Jean. Jenna Lewis, the right fielder, stepping in. 1 for 2 is Lewis. And a fly into right field. It'll fall in. Runner Jean will advance. Had to hold up and to see if it was caught. So she advances to second. It's a base hit for Jenna Lewis. First and second, nobody out. Here's Abby Jeffers, the left fielder. She's 1 for 2 with an RBI, with 2 RBIs on a base hit in the second inning. She's got 2 runners on now, nobody out. And a pitch that will get to the backstop and move them up to second and third. Thoreau taking over for Hicks. And the pitch is high. Well, that one is taken right down the middle for a strike. Counts 3-1. Runners at second and third again. Nobody out here, and 4 runs in for E.O. Smith. Abby Jeffers looking to drive the ball somewhere, but that ball is low in the dirt. Runner home, safe. And Jeffers will take second on that play. It is 10-0. Runners again at second and third. Still no one out. Top of the order. Here's Bryn Cartier. That pitch taken for a strike. Count is 1-1. Cartier 0 for 3 in this one. She is the 9th hitter to come to the plate for E.O. Smith as she takes one up and in. Champagne started the inning with a walk, came around to score. And it is 3-1. Inside, ball 4. And that will load the bases. It'll bring up Louise Champagne. Well, Champagne, who walked to start this inning, is 1 for 2 with a base hit. She scored a run. Takes the first pitch high. Nice job behind the plate. Hannah Oberly keeping that ball in front of her. Diving out. 2-0 the count. And that one drops over for a strike. And that one's on the outside corner, so Thoreau battling back. Gets the count even at 2-2. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the fifth. And popped up, the catch is made by Hicks at shortstop. And there's one away, runners have to stay put. That brings up Rachel Morales, the All-State center fielder. And no, I'm not talking about the insurance company commercials. Although, who knows, name, image, and likeness. She might, when she gets to college, you know, hey, and they're going to walk her. Wow. They're going to concede the run and walk her intentionally. And that drives in a run, making it 11-0. That'll bring up Olivia Lips. Lips is 2 for 3. And Bill Alexander wants to talk to his pitcher. Now, you don't see that a lot. Barry Bonds in the big leagues once walked, or a couple times walked with the bases loaded, but you don't see a lot of that at the high school level to walk in a run to avoid further damage. Now they're going to make a few changes. And they're going to switch around some people on defense. The batter is Lips. So it's 11-0. A little bit late on that swing, fouling it off to the right side. 0-1. Mentioned Lips is 2 for 3, scored a couple of runs, has 1 RBI as well. Actually, she's got 2 RBIs. And it's 1-1. She's got the bases loaded with 1 out. And a nice pitch, a change, drops over. Thoreau ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one gets away, runner coming home and scoring. On the play is Jeffers. It's 12-0. Runners at second and third, and they will walk Lips to load the bases again and get a force play set up. As Bella Caldy comes up for the second time this inning. The old scorebook is starting to really get a little messy for me, but I'm following you. 12-0, 1 out here in the 5th. Grounder to short. Hicks fires over to first. Outstanding throw. Great stretch over there as she switched from short to first. And that is Graves at first. The run comes in on the 6-3 ground out by Caldy. It's 13-0. Runners at second and third. Another grounder to short. Hicks again. And 2 pitches get him out of the inning after a lot of damage is done. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. 13-0. E.O. Smith back after this. All right, here we are, bottom of the fifth inning at Windsor High School, as E.O. Smith has blown this thing wide open. It's 13-0. McKenna Nolan will lead off. She lined out to second base her first time up. Lips working on a one-hit shutout as we go to the bottom of the fifth. And you will watch with me and Ian, and we see what the ruling is should this remain a 13-run deficit, or a double-digit deficit, shall I say, for a lead for E.O. Smith. 1-1 the count to Nolan. Ashley Garrison, the center fielder, on deck. Taken low. Nine runs for E.O. Smith in that top of the fifth. A 3-1 count in favor of Nolan, the hitter. And she gets on, and the dugout for Windsor erupts in a cheer. The lights are on. Now, I know the camera has a better iris than the human eye, so it's probably looking a lot brighter to you at home than it is in real life here at Windsor High School. They're playing, but when you're standing out here in dead center field, about 225 feet from home plate, they're in the dark down there. Here's Ashley Garrison. She took the first pitch for a ball. Runner at first, nobody out. That's the third walk of the game given up by Olivia Lips. Two and 0 the count. Remember, Lips had to sit, watch those 9 runs. She was part of the rally, but she had to wait a long time to get back in the circle and start throwing. She pours one over there for a strike. It's 2 and 1. Okay, we'll have highlights of this one coming up tonight on the Friday Night Frenzy. Big swing and a miss. 11:15 on Channel 3, WFSB. I'll be joined by Dan Booth as we will anchor that show, bring you highlights from around the state. Even talk of a little college lacrosse as Sacred Heart has advanced to the MAC Tournament Championship game for a second straight year, and they're trying to defend and make it 2 straight tournament titles and get to the NCAA tournament for a second straight season. Pioneers will host the game tomorrow up at Campus Field. And a swing and a miss on a high heater. Garrison goes down. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 8 strikeouts for Lips as Sidney Hicks comes to the plate. And Sidney is 0 for 2. Again, only 1 hit and 3 walks given up by Lips. A fastball that's a little bit high. That one way outside. Nice job by Lila Kenny to get that one before it headed to the backstop. 2-0 pitch coming to Sidney Hicks. And she'll take it upstairs. 3-0. That pitch taken for a strike. 3-1. Top of the 5th here at our game of the week, and it's a big lead for E.O. Smith. And Lips' battle back. It's now 3-2. Count full with 1 out. Runner at first for Windsor. You hear some cheering in the back. That wiffle ball game's got very intense. I think they're down to the bottom of the 9th. Three to the count to Hicks. 1 out, 1 on here in the 5th. Right down the middle. Strike 3 called. The 9th strikeout, I believe, for Lips. Here's Savannah Tustin. Yes, 9 strikeouts for Olivia Lips. With 2 down now here in the bottom of the 5th. And quickly pours one in to Savannah Tustin. It's 0-1. Tustin has the only hit for Windsor in this one. She is, in fact, 1 for 1 and been on base twice with a first inning single and a third inning walk. And 0-2 the count. So Lips trying to do something she hasn't been able to do all day, all night, and that's get Tustin out, keep her off the base path. She's got an 0-2 count in her favor, trying to end things here in the 5th. Here comes the 0-2. And fighting to stay in this one, Savannah Tustin fouls it back. The change got her. Drop, third strike. Throw down. And they get the play at first. And that will do it. A one-hit complete game performance with 9 strikeouts for Olivia Lips. A 13-0 victory for the Panthers of E.O. Smith, improving to 8-2 on the season. An outstanding overall effort from E.O. Smith winning this one. It's been a lot of fun to bring it to you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Our game of the week. We'll have highlights tonight on the Friday Night Frenzy, and you'll see the next 3 nominees for next week's game of the week here on the Wax. So until next time, for my partner here, the other part of this duo, Ian Pettigrew, and all the crew back at Channel 3 WFSB in Rocky Hill, I'm Mark Robbins. So long, everybody. 13-0. E.O. Smith gets the victory.